Voice activated.
Cyanide
What if
earring.
they cut out your tongue? That's what happened in this play.
I never
my
want
God,
to
they
hear.
cut out
I
the
don't
tongue.
want to
Yes.
see this. This sounds like a
I
fucking
will
awful
not.
play.
It is.
Well,
But like, here I am talking about it.
You know,
Not
Because
Sweeney
you're
Todd.
traumatized.
yeah. Have you heard about Wicked? You
mean, that was good.
You
That's
just cry and applaud, and you remember the songs after. At the risk of getting voted off my own show and deserving it, please welcome to the stage two absolute queens of reality TV. It's Parvati Shallow and Courtney Act. Hi. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Get in here.
Courtney Act.
That's how you say it.
Popped a button as I sat down.
Courtney Act.
You guys are here for a weird one.
What's happening? We heard a lot of jokes about diarrhea when we were back there.
I forgot that you both could hear that. Let's see.
Wait, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Were you on Survivor long enough to...
On his own show.
I'm like so excited to find out what this is.
Choose violence.
But this is actually a real question, and it relates to diarrhea. So I feel like we're really on topic. Were you on Survivor long enough to have had a relationship with coconuts such that you understand that coconuts are a natural laxative?
I will say yes. Only, yeah. Yes.
That's all we needed to know.
Courtney.
Yes.
Parvati and I have actually talked at length quite recently, and so we wanted to catch you up, and that'll start by just showing you how I did on Survivor. Let's roll the clip.
Looking at my tribe, I'm realizing I'm not getting to know a group of people. I'm getting to know a group of young people. I am 41 years old. Okay, so I'm old now? No, I really like mine. There's so much back in my day stuff coming out of my mouth, but being a speechwriter, I learned that you need to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. I'm addicted to TikTok. So all the boomers are like, we gotta ban TikTok. And I'm just like, I need my videos of like dogs getting adopted. And I'm realizing that I'm the oldest person here, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from trying to build things with these people.
Was that like Survivor Junior or something?
It was really cute. It was so cute.
They were all 12.
They were young, yeah. Well, people keep getting younger as you get older. Isn't that strange?
It's so weird.
It's so strange.
I used to be the youngest.
I know.
Do you know?
Well, there's somebody quote which is there's no such thing as a 30-year-old prodigy. Remember that? I interviewed Mamdani, Zohra Mamdani today for Pod Save America, and I was like, oh my God, he's 33? Are you fucking kidding me?
Like too old to be on your show.
No, to be mayor of New York. He's running to be mayor of New York. He's 33 years old.
Well, that's what we need. Fresh representation.
But not too young. Because, like, no offense, 20-year-olds, but you're idiots.
Agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I was 20 once. I can say that. But, like, really, like, you hear, like, I love an impassioned and empowered. I love the energy and I love the vibe. But sometimes I'm just like, yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Well, it's so hard to know the difference, right? Because sometimes it's like, are you young or am I old, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you saying something that I can't, like, is a person, like, it's very hard to tell the difference when you're 20 or when you're 40 if a 20-year-old is bringing an interesting and fresh perspective that I'm not ready to hear, or they're stupid.
Well, I think you know if you had the same idea at your 20, but now you're old enough to be realistic like every other godless, money-hungry, miserable, backstabbing so-and-so.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if it's like a new idea that you're like, oh, I should have thought of that when I was 25. Let's do that. Let's do what that 25-year-old says. Then it's a good idea.
I would do what you're saying. I would do it. You're ageless also. I feel like you're from Death Becomes Her, like you drank
Thank
the
you. Now
ocean.
a warning? I could be the oldest person here. I'm not sure.
I would never know.
No, we would never know. Well, we could know by asking and finding out. But apart from that, we could never know.
Let's poll the audience, every single one of you, starting with you, sir.
Wait, Courtney, you hosted Ease the Bi Life, a dating show made up entirely of bisexuals. Wow.
Yeah. Do you want me to speak on that? Or just...
Were most of them truly bisexual? Or were
Oh,
some
we're
of them
going
just
with
on it?
bi-erasure now, are we?
No, I'm kidding.
See,
We have-
bisexuality is a spectrum.
We can't erase bi people because half of Crooked Media would disappear.
Boom. You could be like, I don't know at what point it stops being a spectrum, but like, if you're like, see, I have sex with people of different genders, and one of my friends, who's a gay man, was like, you're just gay. You just sleep with women because you want to get with their hot boyfriend. And I was like, well, let's just say that's true for a minute. When was the last time you slept with a woman to get to a hot boyfriend? And he was like, never. And I was like, yeah, so it's different, right?
Right.
Right.
It's such an important point.
I'm opportunistic sexually.
Greedy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being greedy. Thank you. Oh, the show's gonna get
Hi, Hallie.
spicy.
Hallie, everybody. What? Oh, you can't hear? Let me do it. Let me host.
Bedazzled nail.
Thank you.
It's like Phaedra on Traitors. She couldn't. She just had
Pha-
the boiled eggs.
Because you couldn't. Just eating boiled.
Anyone
Wait,
got a boiled egg?
what happened?
She just loved boiled eggs.
That can
Really?
lead to diarrhea.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know about anyone's diarrhea on Traitors because it's not a talked about thing.
Right, because there's just bathrooms there.
There's just
so it's like the normal
bathrooms
world
and,
where you
like,
don't talk
shower-
about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Huh.
And regular food.
It's just regular food.
Straight up food.
How was the food?
No, it was weird. It was like a combination of every night it was lo mein, mashed potatoes, and beef Wellington.
Yeah, because
It
you're
was-
in Scotland.
Scotland. This
So
is
it's still not going to be,
Scottish.
They're not known for their
Cuisine.
cuisine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost a survivor amount of weight on
Really?
Traitors. Yeah.
Wow.
Because you didn't like the Scottish cuisine?
I couldn't do it. It was like a plate of gray.
Yeah. That's the UK in general, really.
You know what's an interesting difference between
Yeah.
an interesting difference to me between the UK version of the Traitors and the American version of the Traitors is in the UK version of the Traitors, everybody just leaves through the house and just leaves and goes to wherever the hotel is. But in the American version, they have everyone pretend they're sleeping in the house. Does that mean at the end of every day, everybody shoots walking up the stairs and then you go back down the stairs and leave?
I don't know what you're talking about. We live in a castle. We all sleep in the same bedroom with the silk duvet, and we all read the same book. And
She wants to be on All Stars.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
There
John.
was one moment of the show where someone says like someone started walking towards the door and somebody tapped them and was like, "No, we're going to bed."
I like when
Wink,
Traitors
wink.
doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that too.
The cast was leaked today.
I
Some of the
saw
people-
that. I saw that.
We got
I
some
saw
survivors
that.
going out there.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the cast?
Well, the survivors that are going out there is Jam Jam, Natalie Anderson, who I love, and I think is going to be so good in the castle because she's so fierce and such a competitor, and she's going to crush at the round table. That's what we need. And then Rob Sesternino,
Yeah.
the Rob Sesternino,
Who has a podcast?
who has a podcast and has had a podcast for decades.
It would be odd if somebody didn't have a podcast these days, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, Rob was the first person who had a podcast.
He was up. He's one of the greats.
Yep.
Wait.
Who's going to do his podcast?
Wait. I've been on his podcast.
I've also, but how's it gonna go when he's in Scotland doing Traitors?
Pre-record.
He's thought this through. We don't have to worry about this.
So wait, Courtney, you do have a podcast.
I do.
It's called Arnar.
It's called, you
R&R.
say in an
R-
American accent the letters R, N, R.
RNR.
And it sounds like, oh no.
No.
Thank you. I'm so glad you laughed. This has been my,
Yes.
oh no.
That's so good. I really try with an Australian accent. It doesn't work for me.
Opening doors.
Arr.
Arnar. You did a good
good?
You did a good British accent yesterday.
Yes, I can do Ekansu.
I can assume.
Are you aware that you make a squinty face when you're thinking?
That's good, I thought. So in your podcast, you go deep with guests like Nicole Byer and Margaret Cho. Parvati, your last name's Shallow.
It is.
Oh.
It always has been.
So it's time for a segment we call Deep and Shallow Questions.
Oh, look at us.
Oh, I remember.
Fishing.
Look at us, fishing.
So we have a mix of deep questions and shallow questions. That's it. That's the format.
Well, I try to go deep, but you come up with the concept for the podcast before you actually film it, and then you realize sometimes going deep is a real challenge. Sometimes there's not depth. No, sometimes you have too much fun with your friends. Most of the people who are on the first season are all people that I pulled in favors from that I know. And so you try and go deep. But then you realize that it's kind of odd to talk to your friend of 15 years about like their childhood or
Their trauma.
Yeah, because you've got too many jokes that you're making. You're having too much fun. But I think I got there.
It's cool to joke about trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or die trying.
You'll never die. You drink the potion.
Some people are shallow. They just don't have it. You scratch beneath the surface and you just get
is that
air
a
down
personal
there.
attack?
No. You are us shallow, but we've had a long conversation. I think that you're many layers to Parvati. That's my thinking about it. I wasn't talking about you. I don't think you're shallow. I really don't. I genuinely don't. Why do I
you're
sound like this?
overcompensating now.
I'm not. I won't vote you out. I saw what you went through. I'm not going to re-traumatize you.
Man, got out first. I never even got to.
You're the pork chop of Survivor.
It's yeah.
That's a drag race. So.
No, it's. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Do you know what's interesting? Drag race is like an ecosystem, a world, a universe, if you will. And Survivor, as I understand, I am not in the Survivor universe, but I understand that it is an alternate universe. Like there's a whole world. Like I was just talking about Eurovision backstage. I was just hosting the Australian commentary for Eurovision in Europe. It's a big music competition. That is a universe. And there's all of these like universes of like pop culture. There's lots of Venn diagram crossovers, but like it's kind of fascinating to know that like other universes exist.
Yeah, like in fandom and just like super intense fandoms.
Deep.
Like the
deep
Survivor.
fans, not shallow.
Yeah, not shallow fans.
Yeah.
Like hearing
People
you
that know
drop names
everything.
of Survivor people, it's like me being like, oh yeah, Monet Exchange or Bianca Del Rio or
We
Adore
know
Delano.
Monet.
Like it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And at the center of all of it, this show.
At the center of all of it.
All right, so we have deep questions and we have shallow questions. Let's start with a shallow question. What do you think of the return of the tankini?
Ooh.
Oh, she's
I wore that
pretty
to Pride.
hot. You wore
She's
that?
famous. Oh, that's Bella Hadid. It says it there.
Yeah, I mean, she's selling me the tankini right now. A
Is that
gingham tankini. It's
that
like
what a
very
tankini is?
Dorothy, Wizard of Oz.
What is a tankini?
Tank top bikini?
Oh, this was like early 2000s, right? Like,
Yeah.
or 90s, late 90s.
Deep question.
Okay. Moving on.
What do you think there's something you're going to look back on from this time in your life and regret?
Doing this podcast?
No, I'll get deep. So, there's a gentleman that I have sexual relations with.
I
in
love where we're
drag.
going.
In drag.
He's an Olympian. We actually
on.
met in hotel quarantine because remember during COVID, Australia had those like the 2 weeks you had to lock down in a hotel before you could get into the country. So he is a heterosexual identifying Olympian who decided while in hotel quarantine that he would download Grindr. And I was also in hotel quarantine on Grindr, and we matched, and then we started chatting, and then it came to Friday night, and I had to get into drag to like film some content from inside hotel quarantine, and so you could like order cocktails. Ooh, my pants popped again. You could order like
I'm loving
cocktails
this.
and have them delivered. Back in that time, like pre-mixed margaritas. So I ordered him like a bottle of margaritas, and then we FaceTimed and like had a date because we couldn't see each other because we were in quarantine.
You're in the same building.
We're in the same building, just across the hall.
This is so hot.
I was like, what level are you on? Because I could make a dash for it. Like, it'd be worth it.
Yeah,
This
it
guy's
would be
fucking
worth
hot.
it.
It's not a prison. Were there guards in the hallways?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was quarantine. It was like...
Guards?
Like, not guards with guns.
With rubber
it's not
bullets?
America. Oops, sorry.
No. What am I
Just
thinking?
Irish
Shoot the
nurses,
Australian.
actually. But we still are in contact and, you know, hopping on the good foot and doing the bad thing occasionally. And we were messaging last night and he was like, oh, I won't get to see you till September. Like, send me some photos or videos. Now, I don't send, you know, nudes as a rule, but I have taken some artistic content that doesn't involve my genitals. And I sort of went through and I found it and I was like, do you know what? I need to take more videos of me looking like a hot slut now while I look like a hot slut.
Agree.
Because later, all I'm going to have is this like Snapchat video from 2000 and whatever. It's sort of like the Moira Rose. Take a lot of naked pictures of yourself and make sure you publish them on the internet, or one day your children are going to go looking for them and they won't be there. That sort of thing.
There is nothing wrong with Moira Rose.
Right.
Everything is right with that woman.
That was so beautiful.
It was.
You'll never be
Are you inspired?
You'll never be as young as you are right now. So take naked photos and videos and look back at them with glee.
Write this down in your notes app.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No,
Sorry.
I think it's beautiful. I don't think I can.
I will say-
And I
How
think
do you
you're
feel
right that I'll regret it.
How do
but
you
I
feel about your
can't.
naked body?
Oh,
Is that too deep?
I don't think about it much at all.
Take your vagina to a restaurant of its choice.
Yeah.
Jon, you have a hot bod.
Oh, thanks for saying that, Parvati.
Well, I can tell through the T-shirt.
I've been doing Pilates and taking experimental pancreas medicine. They're both kind of working.
It's working.
Yeah.
But there is something very hot to a physical boundary, like in COVID, where you couldn't get on a plane and you couldn't go meet someone. It's like something ramps up the heat and the passion there. It's like,
This is what the TV show Catfish discovered a long time ago.
whatever happened to that show?
Yeah, no, that's what I took away from it too, that it's beautiful and inspiring what people do when they can't see each other. What's the status of you and the Olympian? Are we going for the gold? Are we
Top podium.
Yeah.
Oh, we've gone for the gold. But no, he has a partner now. And so we don't do the thing, but he has told her about me. And like I've gone on a date with them, which was kind of fun. It was very modern and progressive. I was like, work.
Wow.
Oh, I love this.
I want to be like the Heidi Fleiss, like the like. I picture my apartment in Sydney. I want to like host, exploratory heterosexual couples who are looking to, dip their toe into the world of polyamory and bisexuality.
This is a very important topic.
Yeah.
And deep.
Very deep.
This
very
isn't small
important.
talk. These are not icebreakers, people.
No. And I'll add to that my own thing about regret, because I think this is the probably first point in my life, because I'm releasing a book. I've written a memoir, which hopefully I don't regret, because it's so deeply personal and raw and vulnerable and exposing. And a lot in my life has changed since I completed that book. And so now I'm like, I want to live my life with no regrets, because I was in a marriage that didn't work for such a long time. And the reason I got out of that marriage was because I sat with myself and I was like, if I did this for the rest of my life and then I died, would I regret my life, like not having actually left this thing and created a life that I loved? And I was like, yeah, I can't. So that's when I really encountered the regret. And now at this point, I'm like, let's explore. Like, I'm divorced. Let's explore.
So you want to come to my
I'm
apartment
coming
in
to your
Sydney? Is that what
party.
you're saying?
I'm going to be wearing fuzzy leg warmers and a thong.
Romance
And a
alert.
crystal thong.
Shallow question. What Austin Powers movie is your favorite? There's Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, and Austin Powers in Goldmember.
What's the one with the little mini evil?
I think that's The Spy Who Shagged Me,
Yeah.
and then maybe all of them.
Mine's the one with Beyonce.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Goldmember.
You can't beat that one. Also, Heather Graham.
Heather Graham.
She was-
On
Wow.
roller skates? Or is that Boogie Nights?
That's Boogie Nights.
Sorry.
Yeah, my favorite Austin Powers movie is Boogie Nights.
She'll forever be wearing roller skates in my mind.
Love It or Leave It is brought to you by Armra Colostrum. We're always talking guts on this show, so why not give your gut its best food forward with Armra Colostrum, whether you're an elite athlete, business mogul, or just your average podcast host or above average. Armra optimizes your body for peak output. Probiotics and other supplements are touted as a gut health solution, but most products on the market are dead before they even reach your gut. Armra Colostrum naturally fortifies your entire gut wall system and optimizes your whole body microbiome, which helps guard against irritants that can trigger digestive issues and compromise your immune system. Research has shown that colostrum helps to enhance nutrient absorption. Armra Colostrum can help stabilize blood sugar levels, modulate hormones, and ignite your metabolism. Colostrum bioactives have also been shown to reactivate hair follicle stem cells and activate collagen production, promoting hair growth and enhancing skin radiance. You hear that? Radiance.
Radiance.
Plus, we've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmra.com/loveit or enter loveit to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/loveit. Deep question. I'm glad you got to be here for such a weird episode. Do you believe in
This
true?
is not what your episodes are normally like.
Nah, it kind of is.
Kind of.
Do you believe in true love?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that like what life is about?
Well, that's one perspective.
Well, there's cheering, so I think yes, I'm correct.
Yeah.
I think that we are here as humans to. I think true love is. I'm a yogi, so it's really as uniting with the oneness and source of cosmic creation that, sparked life in the beginning, Big Bang, and keeps sparking life, and that's what true love is. And when you find that spark, you should write this in your notes app. This is my gift to you. When you find that spark, it could be for pickleball, it could be for bisexual love fests at a party, it could be for diarrhea. Whatever the spark is, just throw yourself at it.
Beautiful. 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 What an impression I make. Do you believe in true love?
I mean, I don't believe in one true love. I don't like this idea of one person or even one person forever. I do believe in love. What is the difference between love and true love? I guess that's up for me to decide. I would
Nice.
say that I believe I have been in love and I still love that person and he still loves me, but that was 10 years ago and we don't want to be together. But I guess this is what you're saying about it. Could be love of pickleball. I love my parents, I love my friends, and those are all true love. But I think the question means, do you believe in one person for you forever? No.
Is that what you're interpreting for the question?
Isn't that interesting? What a thing to project onto the question. But yeah, probably. But yeah, I feel like what I have come to realize as I've gotten older is we're trained by the culture around love to view it as an unstable equilibrium where love is a marble balancing on an upside down bowl and you're trying to keep it at the top of the bowl. And
Survivor Challenge,
and that-
PTSD.
50-50. I'm batting 500 on my Survivor challenges.
Marble on bowl.
Marble on bowl. So the marble's on top and you're desperately trying to keep it from sliding over. But then what I've come to realize is that, that's what a romantic comedy tells you, and that's what dramatic movies or that's what culture and entertainment will tell you. But actually, the great loves of your life, it's more like a marble sitting in a bowl. And if it's the right people, you can go the wrong way, you can say the wrong thing, you can have a fight, but the marble's going to stay in the bowl if it's the right people for you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that was the best wedding speech. That was so good. For your own wedding, you should use that.
Yeah, I should try that.
I feel so settled after that story.
Shallow
He's
question.
engaged.
When's the wedding?
Yeah, true love. He's found it.
You found it? Have you found true love?
I think so, yeah. No,
Wow.
here's
Definitive.
I've actually, no, I have. It's very hard, but it's so
Better.
interesting. Well,
We'll take that out in Photoshop. Don't worry.
no,
He'll never hear
for
it.
sure. No, we'll Photoshop
Is he
this
here?
for sure. No, I know that I have. I'm funny that I'm creating ironic distance from a truth that I know. By not saying just yes. Because I haven't thought about it. I was just asking the question to put it on to you, but now you're asking it back to me. And so I will tell you when this is why I'm sort of, shut up. So when I met my fiance, they presented as a woman. I present as this. I had only dated boys, cisgender men, and they had really only had relationships with women, and we were friends. And then they transitioned, but we had a connection before they transitioned. We were friends. There was we were buddies, and we worked together, and we were friends. But like there was no anything beyond that. How could there be? We just weren't in the right category of people. But then something very strange happens, which is as we become closer friends, they transitioned. Now, when you build, sometimes a romantic attraction can come from intimacy. Sometimes an intimacy can come from a romantic attraction, right? Like sometimes like you can hook up with somebody and you have no feelings, but over time a real relationship develops. Sometimes over time, like a sexual attraction or true attraction can develop between two people out of that intimacy. But usually you stay looking about the same through that process. But it is deeply strange to be very close with someone as friends, as they slowly evolve into the kind of person that is suddenly inside of the bounds of the kind of person you would be attracted to. And over time, that happened. And for a time, it didn't seem like we were going to be together. And I made my peace with that because I knew that if it could happen, it would happen. And so then we went for a walk, and I said, long time ago, we decided not to pursue this because you date women and I date men. If there's a chance that's wrong, I think we should take a chance on it. And then we did, and that was it.
Oh my God, are you crying? Yes. We're all crying.
And isn't that also, you talked about them, their form sort of changing, but I guess there could also be something said for them coming into their own physically, which then also changes how attraction works, not just from your side, but in their confidence in their own body, in their own person. And it feels like a beautiful, not a metaphor, what's the right word? Like a beautiful advertisement for identity and gender and people being who they truly are.
Yeah, authenticity is the hottest.
Yeah.
Aww.
Oh
See?
my God.
Look at that.
That was very beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
What kind of snack do you like to get at the movies?
Wait, this is actually great because back there in the green room is every snack you could ever want at the movies. And I'm into the Sour Patch Kids and the popcorn.
Well, I devoured that popcorn.
Yeah, you went for the popcorn.
I really did. And I was getting a good story too, so I was like,
It was really cute.
Are you afraid of dying?
Oh my God, what a good question. My daughter asks me this a lot.
ooh.
Well, she's like, are you going to die?
How old is she?
She's very morbid. She's 6 years old. And she's like afraid everyone turns into a skeleton when the moon comes out or something.
And is that not true?
You and I talked about this. When you get your torch snuffed on Survivor, it feels a bit like a death. It's like a very ceremonial kind of ritual where it's like when your fire represents your life, and when your fire goes out, that's it. You're like, lights out, you're dead. And it does kind of feel like that. And then you walk down the path, and you're greeted by the producers and whoever. And it's like, okay, well, from everything I've read, I get very into like lives between lives and soul family and all this kind of stuff. I geek out about this kind of thing. So from what I know, there is a soul family out there waiting for us. It's just a veil. This is like an illusion. We can only see what's here physically because we have these special eyes. Like a cat sees something completely different. A grasshopper sees something completely different. If we're dead,
Because everything's so big.
well, yeah, they're like a little tiny grasshopper. And we're in human bodies, but when we lose these bodies, now we can see everything. So the thing that freaks me out about dying isn't necessarily like dying. It's like, what? I'm so attached to my body. I feel like where will be home? Where's home when you die? Because home is in my body. So if I don't have my body anymore, where am I gonna go?
Huh. A lot to think about.
I'm not afraid of dying. I am a godless atheist who doesn't believe in anything, and I think that sort of, I guess, along the lines of what you were just saying, if I were to interpret that through, I guess, my belief system and lens, I would say that I can believe that when I die, the consciousness me stops being individual, and like in almost like a physics kind of way, the energy that I was joins back into the collective. I don't believe that is I don't believe that I'll have a conscious awareness of that. I think it's more like, I think my thinking mind is kind of like this feeble narcissistic thing that thinks, the ego thinks it knows and understands what it is. But I think ultimately, like, when I die, my body will just be like a dead sack of flesh and my consciousness will stop. And that, like, quite literally, my body will decompose and become a part of the earth again. And that's sort of like, you know, the circle of life. But what I do fear is the part that leads up to you dying, the pain. Like, I saw this play called Cleansed. Has anybody here seen? Yeah, I can't think of the playwright's name, but there was all these warnings outside the theater saying, like, just so you know. And I was like, it's a play, like, whatever, like, it's not real. And like 15 minutes in, I was like, oh God, I'll make it stop. And it was sort of, it's
Sounds
about
really
torture.
Good.
And it was one of those plays where I was like, that was horrible. I wish that never happened to me. But then I kept thinking about it, and I was like, wow, I was sitting in a play. A piece of art made me consider how I want to die, the fear of torture, the fear of pain, and like thinking like I need a piece of jewelry that will allow me to kill myself if I ever get into that situation, you know, like where you can't kill you. I've always thought like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You can just kill yourself. Like if it all goes, not in like a suicidal way, but like if the sea levels rise and if, you know, I don't know, an authoritarian dictator comes to power and tries to round you up, like you can just like, you can find a way to kill yourself. But I was like, what if you're being tortured and you can't physically kill yourself because you've been restrained? I was like, I need like a cyanide earring that I can do it with.
Cyanide
Have I gone
earring?
too
What if you
deep?
accidentally hit that at night when you're sleeping?
That's because it's got to be like, you know those like security passes where you like zzz, swipe? It needs to be like that, so you can like zzz. That can't happen when
Voice activated. Cyanide
What if
earring.
they cut out your tongue? That's what happened in this play.
I never
my God,
want to
they
hear.
cut out
I
the
don't
tongue.
want to see
Yes.
this. This sounds like a fucking
will
awful
not.
play.
It is.
What
But
the-
like,
Hey.
here I am talking about it.
You know,
Not
Because
Sweeney
you're
Todd.
traumatized.
yeah. Have you heard about Wicked? You
I mean, that was good.
You just
That's
cry and applaud, and you remember the songs after. That's a nice part about that.
The interesting thing about the playwright is that, does anyone know her
We're
name
back.
by any chance?
Of course not.
Well, she was, the objective of the play was to give people some sort of understanding of her experience with mental health struggles. And it was like she is trapped inside her own mind and she is being tortured by her own mind. And it was like, after I found that out, I was like, fuck, that's deep.
That
Is deep. That
Then
is deep.
She tragically killed herself like shortly after. No, that wasn't the punchline. That wasn't. She tragically did kill herself shortly after this play first
It keeps
was
going.
performed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, one last question.
But she left that out in the world.
Do
So
you like?
Wait.
Are you
Before
in
we
a
move on, can we?
Are you a Negroni person or a Martini person?
Wait, I'm like, are you taking a selfie? Cyanide voice activated earring.
Yeah. God.
But I don't have my tongue, so I can't even activate it.
What were you gonna say,
Sarah
Parvati?
Oh my
Kane.
God.
Oh.
Okay, well, what I was
What a
gonna say
talent.
is, like, do you guys think that this place is haunted? Like, how do you feel about ghosts?
Ghosts? Well, you know, it relates to the previous question, which was only that
It's a ghost! Spooked!
I was literally like in my head being like, where? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm 43. Where is the ghost? I've been waiting. It has never showed itself. Like, if you show me, I will believe, but I will not believe without faith. And that's the point.
And then your phone just
And then
jumped
my
out.
phone just jumped off this table. So
So-
A lot to
maybe
think
I need
about.
question my life.
That's an unexplainable phenomenon.
Or I just placed it precariously and it fell.
That doesn't happen. It's not a thing.
listen to R&R wherever you get your and we,
I can't tell if I
And we're-
ruined this podcast.
no,
episode
this
or
is
not.
great. This is very this is awesome. This is exactly what we wanted out of the segment we called
Love it or leave it.
Deep and
Wait,
Shallow.
also, I was so grateful on Traitors that I didn't have to get buried alive. They
That's a
buried
cr-
people alive.
That's a crazy thing to do. That was a crazy moment on that show because you're sort of like I will say like I trust the production of Survivor.
No.
Like for Survivor, like they've been making Survivor for a very long
Survivor,
time.
yes.
They know what they're doing. They are like fucking pros. They're like they've been at it a long time. But that Traitor show, like I'm sorry, it's like I love Traitors, but it's like at the end of this challenge you get an extra 15 grand. Like they're making it up as they go.
Oh my,
And
there's
it's
there's scorpions,
yeah.
there's snakes, there's rats. They're like, just be nice to the animals.
Yeah,
Like,
let's get a couple housewives in
gonna
that
kill us.
grave and bury them. What? That's cool. That's a crazy thing to do.
Would
you
you
didn't
like
want to
to
do
be,
that.
Would you be buried alive?
No, I want to be dead when they do it for sure. I've thought about that.
Same,
For
same.
money on television.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll be right back.
But they shovel the dirt.
They shovel the dirt.
You can see the dirt cracking through the crack in the coffin.
So you're standing while they're doing it.
I wasn't there. That was season 1.
Oh, they didn't do it again. So that tells you something.
Someone died.
Who
It's
is
reality
the
TV. They
survivor
just-
that got buried?
A lot of Stephanie LaGrossa got buried.
Yeah.
A lot of people got buried.
A lot of people got buried. A lot of people got buried.
Me.
Nobody died at Stonewall.
Nobody died, and that's something we don't remember enough.